To another week of, shall we say, pacifying you snowflakes. I'm not allowed to, by all accounts, come on anymore and say and have a laugh with you, say that we're going to tear your work apart, we're going to tell you your crap, tell you to get out of there and never pick up a machine again, because unfortunately, by all accounts, it offends people. We've got to be nice. I've got to say to you, you're really good, even though you're not. And we've got to encourage you. We've got to bring you along, and not hurt your feelings while we're doing it. So, again, this week, me and Dave, we're going to take a look at your work. We're going to be really nice. We're going to be encouraging. We're not going to find any faults. And we're going to put you in the right direction. And if you really, really believe that, you're best off pushing the button at the bottom and jogging onto another channel, because that's not happening. We will have a look at your work. We will have the crack in the chat at the side. And if anybody wants to moan at me, please do so. And with that, we will bring Dave in. We will find out what Dave's been up to. Jason, you can hurt my feelings, Andy. Well, if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. I don't intentionally mean to do it, but here we go. Right, let's get Dave in. Hello, Dave.
What's up, Andy? Man, you have me laughing there. The be nice and gentle tattoo.
Yeah.
Critique.
We're not allowed to
get the trophy.
Yeah, we're not allowed to bend them over and really stick it to them.
No, sir. No, sir. Everything's good work. Some is just nicer than others. That's the new thing. Oh, we should move our boxes so we're looking at each other. Andy.
Oh,
How do we do this? We're looking away from each other.
Awesome.
I guess I can flip. There we go. Now we're looking at each other. Hey, what's going on, guys? Saying hi to the chat real quick. Yeah. Hello. I just got here a little bit ago, so I haven't been able to chat.
Yeah,
with
we've got Joey in, Smoking, Jason, Mike Parrish is in, Danik, Stevie Green. I've seen Stevie Green in. Joey's in. I think I've said Joey. Rob, how you doing, Rob? Kenneth, how you doing, Kenneth? We've got Mary, Jason, Mary, aka I'll be one of them tonight, and he'll let us know. And I think is it his Raven Queen?
His Raven Queen, yes, right.
Yeah.
Well, we got the whole crew here tonight.
The whole crew,
man.
And like I said, there's 16 watching here. Any of you 16 that's not in chat, come on, we don't bite.
Oh, we scared one off. Now it's 15.
That's it. Everybody's gone. Everybody's gone. We're just talking to herself live on there.
Oh, nothing wrong with that either, huh?
No.
They've got a fresh cut. Can't tell what it is, but he's looking. Guys, I trimmed, man, which you don't notice very often because it's subtle. But I took probably about 8 inches off the bottom. It's just light and free again. It's about as short as it gets. You can literally see, like, this is where the beard wants to rest. But if I'm lazy and it'll grow further. But you can kind of see where it wants to live. And once I do, then it can do the brush the floor effect. That's how I know.
Yeah, I mean.
But Joey, yeah, you were right, bud.
I look back at some of your older videos, Dave, and it's just here.
Yeah, I know. Mini beard. That life was better then, though, because it wasn't in everything.
What is funny is actually seeing you without a beard.
Oh, which you can see. I think there is a video, if you go back far enough, where there might have been. I may have deleted it, actually. It was an old one. Maybe before I even started doing it.
I actually
should try
seen pics of you without it, shall we say, au natural.
Yeah. Especially when I was back in the day, I was big in my head, too, for the military. I looked like a walking corpse, man. Super pale. Yeah. I don't know. Or like, Can you grow a beard, Andy?
Stevie, awesome work you guys put up today. Cheers, Stevie. I appreciate that. Appreciate you following us. Joey, can you grow a beard, Andy? No, I've tried it. I could actually physically grow a beard, but it gets to sort, and it's once it starts itching, that is it. It's coming off. Woof, woof. I've tried loads of times.
Wow.
It drives me nuts. You know, it gets to a certain length, and I'm like,
yeah. I went and bought ink. I went and bought ink set. I mean, put them away. So This looks like a drug bag or something. Went and bought some new colored inks I needed. I was running low, and usually I order them off the internet. But there is a glass house out about an hour away, from 45 minutes away, and they sell Eternal ink, so I'll grab some in a pinch. And I mean, maybe this is politically incorrect. I don't really care. But there was a woman there with a beard. I mean, it was a beard. And she was a woman. Okay, I know this is like, I don't care about the culture. Don't care. But she said, nice beard. And I looked at her. I was like, it was a nice beard. So I let her know that there's plenty of men that can't grow beards that nice. I think she was offended by that because I think she was supposed to be a man or something. But first time I'd ever seen a woman with a full-on beard, man. It was like thick too. A couple years she had me beat.
Yeah, just all you've got to do is just come and spend a few days in our shop, and you'll see plenty of them going into the back for having a permanent hair removal.
Now we're talking like this long, you know what I mean? They were having some trouble, a little growing there, but I mean for being a girl.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I think Smoke must have been secretly talking to my wife. Anyway, Andy just sticks his head out of the car window and his hair blows off. Yep, that's it. Look, you know what I mean? Don't have to do much and thin. Joys are getting old.
Oh no, it's got to take the day. No, having a beard and wearing a mask is like, if I had to wear a mask, I'd have to do something with the beard. I don't know if I could have the beard, man, because then you get the mask beard and stuff. I'd lose the mask, man. They ain't doing nothing for you.
Hey, Joey, tried the Mass Pro needles. Got to say, they're not bad at all, to be honest, for cheap needles. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, good to hear that.
His Ambition Torped arrived today, but I'm away until Friday, so we'll have to wait till I get home. There's no worse than that when you want to play with someone. You got a new toy, and you just can't do it until you get back.
I'm thinking about ordering it, man. The Torped, like we were talking today, even more and more like
the amount of messages I still get over that thing, even though I've done a video, the amount of messages I get over that. Is this right price? Is it in it? Is it a fake? No, it's the right price.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like Joey said, $60 can't go wrong. Yeah, even if you don't get it on the sale price for $60, if it lasts if it lasts you one tattoo, yeah, sure, you're gonna make your money back, but two, and you're like what, $30 a session into a tattoo machine? Get out of here, man. Which obviously it's gonna last you way longer than that, but
I've probably done 30, 40, 50 tattoos with it now.
There you go. I'm almost like I said, if I use the Torped and I like it and it lines nice, then I might have to put the whole Bishop crew on the back burners because or sell them maybe. I don't know, but I'm really this Imela the Grand, that tattoo machine, the Grand. Like I was telling Andy, man, I was supposed to freaking hate it. I've used it every single day. I'm burning batteries out on it. I mean, it does suck a lot of charge, though. I'll give them that, but I've used it for everything, minus lining, minus big, thick liners. I still use the Bishop One Packer. So if I had Torped's got a good stroke and line's good, no need to be paying the big bucks.
But like
Wish
I say,
Snow would piss off, but other than that,
yeah.
I love it, Smoke. I love it.
But like I say, it's just one of them things. I mean, even my machine that I've used every single day for 3.5 years, as soon as I've got this torped, it's like that's gone on back burner.
Yeah.
It's the sat there. I've got two of them just rotting in draw now. Two of these, and they're really good machines. And the thing is, the really good machines that I were using every day, they're really well put together. I still like them, but this one just feels great, to use. It's small,
right?
Compact. It's not complicated, and it just does exactly what it says on the tin.
Right. Yeah, that's it. That's it, man. And I have honestly found that this is gonna sound horrible and go against everything I said, but a swash drive at around like 4 millimeter stroke, I'm really liking it. I don't think I necessarily need the adjustable strokes per se, but it is nice to turn that thing up to like 4 and get a little bit more of a punch. Again, I don't think it's the same kind of a punch, but it is nice to have the versatility there. But for pack and color, the way I do it now, and for shading with opaques, I like it. It does better than the Bishop One shader. Obviously, that I think the Bishop One shader is made more for like a traditional black and gray. You know what I mean? Like washes. And so I'm not using washes anymore. So it's not as smooth, in my opinion. It's a little too weak with that brushed motor. I see Danik asked a question. He sent me a message. Danik, I'm so sorry I didn't get back to you, bud, but I did go over there and check that video out by Daniel just to see that UV sterilization thing.
Is it this one?
Yeah, pretty cool. I don't know. I'd love to see more about that. I didn't really care for the machine. Not that there's anything wrong with the machine by any means. It's just didn't really do anything for me. It's just another machine. But the sterilization portion of it I thought was kind of cool, being that you can use it. You can put any machine in it that you want. I'd love to see them, go further with that, like have more with that. But I don't know anything about it, but it was cool to see. Daniel did say he was going to do a more in-depth video on the UV sterilization portion. Maybe give us some more information. So I'd be down to watch that.
Yes, but like I say, it's just weird what machines in it. How you can just fall into them and you don't think that you're going to like them, but you just fall into it, and it's like, yeah, I really do like this thing.
Yeah.
And I swear, carry on like this, I'm going to drop one of my other machines out, one of my everyday ones that I've been using, probably the one that I've never ever used. I'll put that, and I'll put the 2 batteries back with it, put it all back in its box and everything, and I'll just put it up on eBay or something. I'll just sell it. I'm
with you, man. I'm like, it's crazy. It's fun to always be willing to try new things,
Yeah.
I literally told the company I didn't want the machine, and they sent it anyhow. And I'm glad they did, because I'm like, oh, I like this machine. And again, it goes again. So now I got to try the torped, because I know I'm gonna love that. And
4.5 millimeter cam is for me.
Yeah, because I'm using a 4.2 right now, and 4.5. It would be nice to just have a little bit more punch.
Yeah.
I don't know that I want a 5. That's more than I care to deal with, because I like a little bit of like pressure to be applied. At 5, I think it's just punching so hard.
But the 4.5 for me, it's just like I could tell straight away between the 4.5, but for how I work, the 4.5 is like boof, beauty, absolutely beautiful.
I like a good, solid, long, hard-hitting machine for lining. Love that for lining, but for pack and color, I still like somewhere like a soft, not a super soft hit, but a mid-grade hit, right around like at least 3.5 up to 4. Some of these adjustable strokes allow you to go to like 3.6, 3.9, but I mean, we're really still 3.5 to 4s for me anyhow.
I just rock the 4.5, and whether I'm shading, packing, lining, I just adjust my hand speed, maybe needle throw, a little bit of voltage, and it just works. I just find it as an overall, all-round banging machine. We will get to these emails. There's not a great deal being. Only reason we're BSing at the beginning. There's not a great deal being sent in this week. What I will say, this week is the last week on this channel for critique. For work. Tonight is the last night, and then next week on here, there'll be something else, and there'll be some bullshit and banter going on. What Sunday is it? The Sunday 15th.
It's the weekend after Easter, so I won't be live on Easter Sunday because, it's Easter Sunday, and hang out with your families, guys, and give myself a break too. And then the Sunday after that, we'll come back on my channel, which, like you said, might be the 15th, and we'll do a tattoo critique. And then and every few weeks we'll probably just switch it up, right, Andy? Just to kind of mess around. Yeah, have some fun. That keep people on their toes. I don't know. But yeah.
But it's like you said, then gives me a chance to come up with some other stuff and run them on here.
Yeah.
Well, it goes back to you, and then vice versa. It gives you stuff.
Right. Come up with a different idea every couple of weeks, and then be like, all right, maybe we'll switch it because I want to do this on my channel.
Yeah, because otherwise, it's like you said. Otherwise, it can get stale really quick, and it's hard to think of stuff. What's going on? Rob, anyone going to the WV Tattoo Expo? Actually, I know you're on about that, but one of my clients, it's funny you ask actually, because one of my clients over here in Leeds, that big arena, they have a tattoo expo in June, and one of my clients, I've tattooed all his chest and that for him, and the company that he works at, I've got a private box and they get tickets for free, and the VIP tickets. And he messaged me and he says, I've got you 3 tickets free of charge. He says, all you got to do is just rock up on one of days, give them my name, they'll give you tickets and you can have them.
Well, that's cool.
I thought we're really nice of him. Like,
nice.
So,
heck yeah.
I'll be
it's a whole year from now. Hopefully, I'll go to some other expos, maybe in Texas when I'm down there, because they're more around, I guess you could say. But the promoter from the Ink the Bay out in Tampa hit me up again today. He's already preparing for next year. He's already like, Dave, will you be there next year? I said, yeah, I'll put it on now. I mean, it's a year from now. Who the heck knows? But I will definitely try to be out there. So we'll be doing the seminar again next year. I say again, but I didn't get to do it this year. And that's okay. It would have been too much to try to get to Florida, do all that logistics, and then get back, and then try to continue to get ready for Texas. So
next year. I think the next month, May, and then I've got a couple of May, June. So I've got tattooing, and then I've got holiday at the beginning of May, come back, tattooing, beginning of June, we're off to see Pink in concert. Ooh. And then off, come back from that, week after that, or is it about 10 days after that, then there's this Tattoo Expo, and just got to get everything in between.
Yeah.
It's busy. Well, shall we dive into some of this critique, Dave? Unless anybody's got any questions before we dive into critique, and you want to quickly pop them in chat outside. If not, I'll just give you a minute or two. If not, then we'll dive into these emails, and we'll get through these, and then we can bullshit and banter for a bit, back end.
Yeah. Yep. So I know I gotta be out of here. I gotta be somewhere at 7 p.m. and it takes me so I have to be gone by 6:30. So probably off of here by like 6:20, 6:15.
Yeah.
Which we should be fine.
Yeah, should be fine. Bradley's in. Right, let's get these. So nobody's got out. No, Smoke's answered it. No, dive away. Nice one, Smoke. You're on the ball. Show us.
Hey, what's up, Bradley? Great to see you, man. Just jumped in.
Cool. So, start at the bottom here. First one in is Anonymous Prepper.
All right.
So, 2 more I recently did. Almost have all my cheap skin used up. You'll be glad to get rid of them, mate.
Right.
Yeah, it's all right.
You can still practice on cheap skin. You just gotta be careful what you're gonna get out of it. From a distance, Andy, from like here, extremely readable. I think he probably did pretty good at using the right shades, the right values. There's enough darks, to kind of in the chamber there. It's like, all right, I see the darks down the chamber, dark around the back of the handle. I think the values are pretty good. You could always, find a little bit more of the mid to dark tones to really tuck here and there, but definitely readable. I mean, just before we get in and start, look at lines and the real stuff. But from here, it's pretty readable.
I don't have much thing with guns, but this little bit of texture that he's got through this hand grip, I do like this effect. Yeah, I don't know how realistic it is, but I like the effect that he's gone for here.
Yeah, it's like a checkered. It is kind of like a textured grip there. So yeah, I'd say that's relatively close to what it would be like.
like I said, got these just nice token gestures as if the, you know, where
Yep.
the chamber is and that, as if it just in it. This, I love this. I always got this 44 mag. And
Yeah,
like,
really dropped to a nice small needle grouping to carefully put that in there. Yeah.
And it's not 100% bold. It's got that stamped in effect.
Right.
On it. And now let's get in a bit closer.
You know, the top there is kind of throwing me off. I think that's like a little peep sight, little pop-up sight on the back there. But I'd say, if anything, maybe that. I'm not sure. It's probably just following the reference. And, you know, sometimes you do that and, you know, still in the end, you're like, I'm not a big fan of the way that looks. But that is exactly what I saw, kind of a thing. But again, it's all there.
I mean, I'm looking at it. This is a super thin liner that he's run over here with.
Yeah.
It's got a few shit. I'm just going to forgive him on them because it's such a super thin liner, you know.
I would too.
But you see, for the piece, it's like this. This doesn't look in, but whether it had hold up in real skin, I don't know. But on fake skin, it works. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying. They're a little bit on the and the thin lines are fine, but you see where they're like in and out in some spots, especially around like the trigger there, where it's like it's there, and then we're missing a tiny little chunk here and there. That's what makes you feel like, I wonder if this is a consistent, you know, because if it's so easily able to just not be there, then it might be a little light. But again, those little needles penetrate so quickly because there's very little resistance on them that it could very well be just fine.
It's like this, what I'm assuming is safety catch or whatever it is. It's just, you know, like
that would be I think that's the release to open the cylinder.
Right. These look a bit like, this looks a bit funky, does this line, I'll be honest. Out of all of them, for me. You know,
right.
Back wet, hammer is. But still do like this texture through here.
And you know, there's still some great things here too. I mean, overall, it's fine piece, but like how he's got the dark kind of whipped out a little bit to give you a lot. You feel the curve of this, you know what I mean? You could tell this is round. You can tell what's going on here, and that's really what's important. And you know what? Those tiny needles are tough to use, and they produce such a small line. Sometimes it can be better to maybe just up the needle grouping slightly, and for spots that could use a little bit more structure, you know. But you know, it's just not bad at all. Not bad at all. I mean, he's on a tough fake skin to tattoo, and he's able to get a nice result overall, you know.
Yeah. Cheap fake skin. It's got an overall nice result. I mean, once he gets into some better fake skins, I think you'll see that next leap. You'll see a next big leap, you know.
Right. He's on his way though, for sure. Definitely get some good fake skins and keep at it. And I mean, the fact that light tones are going in and they're looking pretty consistent, that's a good thing. And the dark tones are there, and then it's just getting a feel of the proper mix of both of them.
Yeah, it's just let me do.
And again, we're just obviously, most of you guys know, just a couple idiots who just regular tattooers. So I mean, if we're being picky, then we're being picky. If we're not, we're not. You know, some people are like, well, you're really picky on that one. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Absolutely none.
It's just what we initially see.
Yeah. And I would probably have a similar mistakes too, you know, with using needle grouping and the fake, you know, blah, blah, blah. But if you send it in, we're going to try to find some stuff, maybe point you in a direction. This is kind of cool. Kind of looks like there's like the skin's being pulled out or something. They're like the eyeballs being fish hooked. How are them eyelashes for you, Andy? Is there enough eyelashes in that one for you?
Yeah, this one's looking funky.
It caught a breeze.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, they're fine. They come off to a tip. They're just, I don't know, Dave. This under here, this all the way across under here, would naturally have a dark, even through there would naturally be darkened because this ridge on your eyelid bows out. So you would naturally have a little bit. So
a little bit more of a shadow there.
This thin dark line is weird.
I gotcha. Maybe they're trying to. And I get what you're saying too. They might be trying to express that it is touching the eyeball, so therefore producing no shadow. But I guess if the light was shining that way, it would also be like, yeah, I could see it going either way, but yeah.
Yeah, and it's got this fault. Just what's for me is, you see this area through here, Dave, and this area through here. Because this would naturally be, that will go, you will go from there, it naturally sort of like comes over, you know, like that. Does the bottom of your eye, same as top of your eye, but not quite as pronounced. Maybe just try and got a little bit more shape.
Yeah.
Even
I'm not super familiar with the eye and the anatomy, to be quite fair. I really don't. So that's why I'm kind of being quiet on this one, because I really don't know. First impression looking at it, though, it definitely feels like it's being pulled up with the little bit of movement on the outside of the eye. The eyeball itself is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Again, he's getting pretty. I like that he's putting darks, like you said. Maybe you should put some more shades in certain spots, you know. But I do like the darks that he's got tucked back there, and they kind of whip out. He's not just whipping a black out; he's dipping into a lighter shade and bringing that out. The eye's kind of cool. He's got a lot going on, trying to get all those little, you know, lines and whatnot, little highlight spots here and there. Is it perfect now? But I do see an improvement, a big one, really.
An improvement. It's like saying that now it's taking the time to get all these little bits in. They're realizing that a pupil and an iris and everything isn't just perfectly round. It does have this. And like we say, we've got the blacks here. We've got a tone coming through there. We've got lighter tones, you know, in between.
Right.
So he's making the effort, and now it's just a case of honing that in. And I think, for want of a better word, is honing the art skill in as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's all kind of happening at once, and that's a lot of times how it'll go as well. So since everybody gets a trophy, you get a trophy too, man. Trophies for everybody.
Yeah.
Trophies.
But,
yeah, good stuff though, man. I think I like what they're going on. I like that they put dark where dark needed to go, and then left open spots where a highlight might be or whatnot, you know. Yeah. And trying to create motion and movement with your shades and stuff can be tricky with tattoo machines, because it takes time to figure out how to move the hand, pressures, and all that. So, and again, he's on that crappy fake skin.
Yeah.
So he's making some stuff happen with what he's got. So, you know, kudos to you. I'd love to make sure you just keep sending stuff, you know, as often as you do them, because that way we can watch the progression. That's it. You
can watch the progression, and you can see the progression is coming along, without a doubt. So that's that one.
Smoke says, I never tried doing an eye yet. I never cared to do eyes. I mean, I do them in portraits, you do them here and there, but I would not. It's just, I don't know. They're done a lot. And so people have seen so many of them that if yours isn't on par, then it's, you know, people are quick to see, oh, that's not right.
So we've got Kenny Robson. Hi, Andy. I am on the autism spectrum and do some drawings to keep my mind busy. Nice one. They say it's good to keep busy. And my son had a tattoo done recently, so I thought I would see if I could give it a go. So I got a cheap tattoo machine and some fake skins. The first two are some of my drawings, and the second are what I done on fake skin. This is after about 2 months of practice.
Well, I think so these are what he's done with pencils on paper. And then we get down the line.
And then further down the line, he's gone on fake skin.
Nice. That'll be fun.
So this must be like some of his artwork.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely like tattoo style.
Yeah.
because he's got a lot of like open areas, which is smart because you let the skin breathe sometimes, depending on the style you're working in. It looks like he's got some solid darks in some places, some texture going on. I mean, again, I'm sure looking at a reference, the teeth look pretty perfect, which are usually not the greatest when you're doing a skull. Okay, give him a little bit of a ragged out look, helps the look. The eye kind of looks like it's off of like a snake or something.
What, this one?
Yeah, kind of throw me off. That, I do like the texture. He's kind of like the bits up in the forehead and stuff. He didn't just leave it open, some cool stuff here.
Yeah, it's like you say, it's got some darks in this, that, and other. What I would just say is just watch if this is going to be like a skeleton, hand, usually made up. But I don't know the reference, so I could be just talking crap.
Right.
That's per usual. But this would be bones. And then the other thing, Kenny, just watch, because this, even though it's a small detail in the ear, it's still big enough to make out what would be going on. So just, even though it's small details, if it has got detail in it, make sure that we can, see it.
Right.
No. So.
Okay, working on some face. A lot of little stuff going on in this one with the braids and the beads and whatnot. But no, it's not too bad, man. It's not too bad.
Got some folds.
I think if you start tattooing with this structure, this at this point, then as you tattoo and you build this skill up a little bit more, even then as you're building up how to tattoo skill, as the time gets to where the work's really getting there, they're both going to meet. So I would say keep working at the pencil drawings or whatnot, or the shadings, because this is good. But there's room for improvement.
Yes.
But if you keep tattooing, like he's only been a couple months, but at least you have artistic background, right? It needs improvement, but as they come together, because it's a lot harder with a tattoo machine, obviously.
It is, and you can't rub this. You can't rub a tattoo, any work out with a tattoo machine.
Yeah, but as a whole, even as this, it's a nice piece. It's a nice piece. I think it just needs a bit more refinement, a little bit more detail. It's a pencil thing, so you can go back into it. I mean, those would judge a little bit harsher, because there's
the other thing.
But I like the shading in it as well.
Yeah, the other thing I would say, and I don't know about you, and I don't know if you use them. Me personally, I do. You see these, through here, and the graininess, and everything. What I would say, and they're only a few dollars, few quid, couple of pounds, few dollars. Blending stumps.
Yeah, they're good to have. Definitely.
Blending stumps. And the smooth you work out, and you can transition across from darks to lights. You don't need to pick any charcoal up, or you don't need to pick any graphite up. It will help you just transition them out. And even in some of your lighted areas, because there'll be enough on end of your blending stump, you won't need to lay any graphite down. You can go in and use it. The other thing, so now, is it charcoal that you usually draw with, Dave?
Yeah, if I which I like to, I just haven't had much time, but yeah, I like to use charcoal because you can get black, like true black, like in tattooing. If you black something out in tattooing, it looks black, but with graphite, it doesn't really get black, So I like to practice like a wooden tattooing, so I need something that'd be really black. So I use charcoal, but I use paint brushes, watercolor brushes. I use pencils as well too, but I will shave down some of the charcoal and dip. I have varying brush, tons of sizes, all the way down to tiny, and that's how I will brush in like shades on the faces and stuff. And it's very similar to tattooing. Once you get comfortable using large mags and brushing or packing, depending on the style which you're doing it, they work together. There's a very similar crossover there. And but if you're using stuff like this, that shading stump kind of thing goes. You can even use a Q-tip if you wanted to.
It's funny, actually, Dave. Look, I've just got a Q-tip up, there, and blending stumps.
But if you do blend, make sure after you blend it around, right, you smooth it out, go back with your dark again and darken back up the main spots you want dark, because you will pull some of that down and it'll end up getting kind of washy where it's all kind of looks like one sort of tone. Then go back in and darken it up. Is that before? Is he recycling over there, huh, Danik?
Yeah.
Like, I ain't flushing that down.
I hope it's clean toilet paper he's using it. Yeah, again, that's another thing you can use. You know, paper towel.
But for this guy, he's doing just fine, man. It's a nice piece. So you figure, as if you're drawing at this level and you're tattooing at this level, as they move together, you'll be doing freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
This is cool too. I love all the the time he took to get the texture in the jacket. You know what I mean? You could kind of feel like you could feel it. You can tell what the feel of the texture of that would be. You know?
Yeah.
So it's cool. Taking his time. I think he's doing it right. He's doing it right.
Get some nice what looks to be nice texture through these beards, and you know, and that it's really coming along. You know, this texture in here. Yes,
absolutely. Textures. You do it the same way in tattooing, right? Like I did Velcro, and I'm looking at it, and the only way to do that was to put lots of different dots and little movements and different shades. And in the end, you get, it looks like Velcro. You just do what you see. And same here, like how you would get the same texture in that shoulder, same way you do it with the tattoo machine, really. The liner, put all the texture in, all the little things, the different shades of texture, then go over top of that and tone it and darken the certain spots and whatnot. Yes, give a stream a like.
Now we're going on to, you can see, this is where it's transitioning onto.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, obviously from drawing to fake skin, the drawings are always going to be better in the beginning. It's just the way it is. And it'll probably always be better, period. If you ask somebody to draw something better and we can tattoo it.
Yeah.
That being said, I think there's a lot of really good stuff, a lot of good things going on in this, Andy. I think there's a lot of obviously things that need to be improved upon and whatnot, but for just a couple of months, not
I mean, like we say, Kenny, you've got to work with, when you're tattooing, you've got to work on drilling them lines in and getting them lines, you know, to start with. And obviously this one ain't quite in, but I look at this one down here, this one's in, and it's dark, and you'll find, like you said, Dave, you will find that it's easier on paper than on false skin with a machine, because you can rub it, you can smudge it, you can rub it out. Right. You can't do it. You're solely relying on technique. And you've got to get these techniques in. And I would hazard a guess that this isn't the best of fake skins, because even down to the solid black packing and up to the lines and things, it's not. But like I say, you can see what he's trying to get his darks in.
Yeah. And then if you look at the top of the skull there, this is like something that, you know, I think even at an early on stage you can think about. Can you zoom in, not far, but just a little bit on the skull? Yeah, that should be good. At the top there, the shading goes straight down. You know, it doesn't really have any curve. If that shading would be curved a little bit, we're going to feel a little bit more curve to the skull, you know. Little things like that are pretty easy to change and have an effect. What I do like, the teeth on this one's better. The little indents above the teeth, you know, the pieces coming off the nose. We got some decent textures. The two eye sockets seem totally different to me, one much larger than the other. But that's, again, whatever. We'll put that aside. The rose is where it kind of gets lost for me. We tried incorporating hard lines with shading, and I don't know. It's just feeling off here because we have a couple of hard lines coming off of the rose. Some of the bigger petals don't even feel like they're part of the same flower. I think those are supposed to be water droplets on there, but there's nothing to really signify that those are water droplets. And this is what happens in the beginning when you're working on trying to figure a few things out. But overall, though, I mean, a couple months in, drawings are looking good. some good things here. Definitely some stuff to work on, but that's obviously to be expected.
This is where I would probably expect somebody to be, a couple of months in.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Especially if they're, they're doing it on their own probably too. I mean, I doubt they're in a shop with somebody trying, over them, helping them every step of the way. Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, well, this is cool. I like this more.
This is on fake skin.
Yeah, I like this more. I still like the flower's not bad. That flower's a huge improvement from the last one. I just has a bit of a cabbagey feel, but that's a hard thing to get past in the beginning. But I do love all the dark in that skull and all the texture, all the little bits going on there. I'm digging that skull. And that's probably the best part of it for me.
I like how it's done this skull with the top jaw prominent forward and the bottom jaw further in, and he's managed to get these teeth imperfect.
Yeah. They got bits of,
like you say, the roses need some work. Kenny, your line work, you need to work on your line work.
That'd probably be where like you said, the shading's coming along, but the line's only going to get better with practice. You have to.
Yeah, we can see through here. I mean, if this was in the skin, human skin, it wouldn't be in. These ever so scratchy, through there. You've got to, even if you want a sketched in feel, you've got to make sure them lines are in and them lines are in properly and make them look like a sketched in line. You can't just sketch them in. I know that sounds probably Irish, but it's...
But, the skull is nice, but those lines definitely need some work. Because, you know what I mean? Like you said, once those lines get crisper, minus the rose, which, again, huge improvement from the last rose. Huge improvement. It just needs a little bit more refinement when it comes to the tones, right? It's all kind of feels one tone, even though I know there's more in there. I think you need to be a little bit more liberal with the black ink, and like you do with the skull, I still have troubles with sometimes. I'm like, all right, that entire area is supposed to be black, and in the dark area, he still put more there. There's still things going on in the shadows.
Yeah.
But that lining, man, got to get it up a notch.
You've got to work on something smaller and hone your lining in on that. But say 2 months in, not going too bad. Keep sending your work. And as we say, this is the last one on this channel. And we'll be back on, I will give them a date actually. So it's this... What day are we on? Is it this Sunday that's Easter Sunday?
Yeah, this Sunday coming up.
So we're back on the 15th, Sunday the 5th. Sunday the 16th. Yep. So, Easter Sunday's 9th, 16th. So critiques, I'll be back on a Sunday on the 16th on Dave's channel, which is Art Something, and God, I can't even remember what the email address is for it.
artmesomething@gmail.com. ARTME something @gmail.com. Artmesomething @gmail.com. Yep, you can send them there, and but don't send them now. When we go live, because we only look at the live one.
Back to 30,000 emails.
Nah, man, I think we'll be good. We'll be good. Like I said, I haven't been super active on the channel, so we should be pretty chill when it comes to the quantity coming in, which is nice at times.
But keep sending your work in, Kenny. We'd like to see your progression.
That was really cool to see all that.
Yeah.
And it's, it's always a lot to put yourself out there like that, man. So good on you.
One. Anthony Paul. Hey, I'm there and Dave. So here's a couple of pieces I've done. The skull on myself and the butterfly on the wife. I'm practicing all styles, but learning towards American traditional. Let me know what you think. And rocks.
It rocks.
And rocks. And I don't think he's in chat tonight, is he?
I don't think so. Oh, geez, can't even speak. I haven't seen him. So Hey, well, you know what? From here, Andy, on himself,
Yep.
it's not looking too shabby. You know what I mean? When we get closer, we're probably going to see some stuff, but I would love giving my first impression from a distance because this is how most people are going to see it.
Yes.
Walking by, taking a look at it. Hey, look at my tattoo, man. Hey, that looks pretty cool, man. Even if the style is not yours, it's, you know, or something you love, it's still, hey, that's pretty cool.
So,
I mean,
like
technically that back wing's a little odd because it would be level with the other one, but I think it still looks cool.
But it is what it is. It's a little banger of a tattoo.
It is. The blacks look saturated, man.
Yeah, let's pull us in a little bit further. I'm not going to go in too far on it.
No, I'd say a little bit further, Andy, just a little bit. Oh, I guess you know what? Yeah, right there. That's fair. That's fair. No, because you know what? He's got the shine on it from the, you know, probably from maybe some leftover Vaseline or something. I don't think that's chewed up area. You know, sometimes it can be like,
no.
So no, I think that's just that pores shine.
I'm really liking how this curves around through and whips through there. And this comes, you know, the curves on this.
Yeah.
This comes down. You can just see it coming to back at skull. If I had to pick probably the worst, if I was picking your worst lines on here, Ant Rocks, wouldn't it be that one? Looks a bit light, leaves a little bit open, and I can see it on my screen, probably not on yours. And this one.
Yeah. Maybe just the connection there, connecting, trying to remember to go back when you're done. Sometimes, I mean, you can book it through lines, and I still try to remember to go back and connect them. I'll still miss some, so I get it. But the one thing, I guess, there, if you go up to the top, Andy, do you see the connection there? I guess, I mean, it's always tricky. Right up on the top of the hat there, where it curls around the open area. You can see where two lines connected right there.
This one here.
Yeah, that's probably the only spot that from a distance I can noticeably go, oh, look, two lines connected. Is it bad? No. Are they in all tattoos? Yeah, there's one or two here or there. A little easier to see because it happened to be right in an open area. What I'll try to do sometimes is think about it because you know you're going to have that black area just about an inch further back. So if you can get that line to just stretch a little bit further and end it right in that black area. So when you bring the next line around, even if it's not perfect, you're going to put that thick black area in there. You can really kind of hide that connection if need be. And then the only other thing, Andy, when it comes to this one is, so he's getting the black nice and saturated. Can we zoom in a little bit on, let's say, the bottom there, right? So when he's coming out of that black, you see how it's kind of got that, like, maybe he's using just a round shader and individually kind of whipping it out. And I'm just guessing. I love how saturated the blacks are, so kudos on you for that. But maybe grab a mag and maybe whip it out that way. It's gonna, I think, it's gonna give you a little smoother of that that end gradation. You know what I mean?
You mean like through here, it'll go from super black, and you can get it out to just that little bit lighter. You know, doing it with a mag, and it would just be probably just that bit smoother, not as, like you say, as speckly.
Yep.
But other than that, I mean,
man, nice. That's a banger, man. I mean, for just like throwing that on yourself, dude.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, nice.
Ooh.
Oh, that looks nice from here again. But the lighting's a little hard, so we're probably not gonna be able. I don't know if we're gonna see as much, but again, if you're just walking by and seeing it from here, it's like, hey, that's banging little tattoo. Even though it's not really that little technically.
Yeah, it's really hard to read on. I mean, it's looking pretty. Well, we got one.
This is Ant Rock's Jason. I think Jason was, or Mary Jason.
Yeah.
Jason.
Colors look solid, to be fair.
Can you zoom in any further, or are we just doing it? Oh, no, I'm sorry. If we were doing a distance process, that was fine, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, we can get to there. I mean, these colors look solid.
They do. The saturation is there, man.
Yeah.
It is there. I wish
solid.
In that center of that flower, maybe he would have went with a color instead of just, and I'm just, again, we had to make a lot of assumptions, right? And
you mean this here?
That too, but I'm talking about the shading behind the pink. I'm assuming those are pink, that flower, like the shading in it. Like, you know, do you see the flower? No, the flower in the middle. Yeah, just that flower. See how those petals are coming out?
Yeah.
That shading around there looks like it's just like a gray wash.
Right.
And then packed over top with a pink.
Yeah.
Again, just an assumption of the colors. Maybe it's a red. I wish they would have used a color, even a purple or something, or a deeper color, maybe starting with a purple coming out into another tone, or you know what I mean, just so it doesn't feel kind of gray washy.
It does,
but
but you've also got to remember, like he said there, he's going for American traditional, so this would be black.
I don't know. Then it needs to be more solid down.
Yes, it does. What it should have been is black from here, whipped.
Yeah, exactly.
Whipped. I mean, they could have done this like this. I thought, oh, it's a bit weak. That just gone back in with black and just whipped it out over the top.
Right. It could always still go back and do that.
It could still go back into it, but I mean, looking at it from here on the leg, it's a decent size, and
yeah, it's a good size tattoo, man.
To be honest, if you split it down middle, both sides look pretty even. Maybe if anything, but it could be how it curls around leg. But photo, this might be a little bit. This black area down this side may be a little bit fatter than this one. But I can't really tell because it's a bit of a weird angle that it's taken on.
Yeah, could you go in just a little bit further? On our end, it's real small, real hard to see. There you go. That's probably fair enough, yeah.
You know, that just looks, but I wouldn't really call them out for that because, look, here looks thinner. There looks fatter.
Yeah. And like you said, it could be the angle of the leg,
you know. The angle of the photo.
Yeah. Now, if you look up the left side, it could be the lighting here. You see how the left side around that black area, how there's those openings,
you mean
which are intentional. Yeah, you see those.
Yeah.
On the right side, and I think they're there. I think it's just dark, the shadow and the light.
Let me just
okay, they're there. And this is pretty consistent, you know.
Yeah.
For still working at this and getting them in. I mean, like solid saturation, something that takes some time. So good on you. It doesn't look beat up either.
No, it's not chewed. It's not chewed at all.
No.
And it looks saturated. So yeah, cool. This is
nice job, Rock.
And Rock, yeah, nice, smashing it. Good work.
Yeah, I love seeing the improvements, man. It's so cool, so cool.
Yeah. Stephen LeBlanc, things are getting weird. No shit. Here are 3 new pieces on some fake skins. I used a Sharpie to help the stencil, and it soaked right into the skin on Wednesday. Right.
What happened?
Why did you guys not say anything about using better fake skins? We're always saying about using better fake skins. These are way better to work with. Didn't make me better, but easier to get ink in. Yeah, we're always banging on about using, better fake skins. And since I can do both sides, I think it's cheaper per square inch, probably. Dave, I am trying to work on the faces, tough stuff. Andy, I try getting some eyelashes in for you. Would have needed a single needle. Thanks again. No problem.
Okay, so is he using I missed the beginning. Is this a better fake skin?
Better fake skin, because he went soaked in on face. Why did you guys not say anything about using better fake skins? Oh, lol. I missed the lol off the end.
Oh, okay. So he's messing around. Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's messing around.
And I'm like, I feel like every time we look at someone's work on fake skin, we're always like, what kind of fake skin is that? So he's giving us a busting our chops. So I like that he put a penny there for reference. A very articulator thing to do.
Yeah, but I think the 1 cent. I think your 1 cent coin is way smaller than our pound coin.
Probably a penny is, about yay big. So nice and small. Lines look pretty crisp, man. The black is solid. I've seen plenty of people love this style of work, black and open skin. This is nicely done, I think. I mean, could some of the lines be this, that, or the other? Sure. Overall, it's nice. You know what I mean?
It's nice. It looks nice. It's got that nice feel about it. Look, it's nicely whipped off there, here. They all come round, little tentacles in. This black's in really, really nice. I like how this eye's been done. I like how he's got all the little suckers and everything, and he's just using black and open skin with these little details in it. And he's got some, let me pull in a little bit further, some just little fade offs in some area. Banging.
Yeah, nice little textures here and there.
Yeah.
Different line weights more than likely.
Banging. And you zoom out like that, it looks well from there, Dave.
Super readable.
Yeah.
No need to go nuts and do a million things while you're trying. You did say something about faces, so we'll see what's next. So.
Yeah, but another thing.
Yeah.
You can read all these tentacles.
Absolutely. They make sense too.
Yeah, they're not smashed into each other, you know.
Right. Yeah, just because it's to do a simple tattoo and keep it clean is not easy. Someone would say, "Oh, that's an easy tattoo." It could be to some, but to others, I mean, this could be very hard because there's no room for you to be artistic, if you will. You're not going to get artsy fartsy and start putting a freaking, you know, a Bob Ross tree in the middle, and all of a sudden you're like, "Wow, no, it is what it is," and you got to nail it.
A happy little tree.
Happy little tree. There's no happy accidents here. Everything's got to be just right.
Yep. Jason, is this yours? I think he's in chat.
Is this Jason?
Is this Jason's?
I don't think so. Who's the title?
Those lines, but ended up okay. Hey,
what do you say?
It looks fine.
Where's Jason? Is Jason?
Ooh, I quite like this one.
Oh man, I really like it. I love her jacket.
Yeah,
love that jacket, man, because you can feel the material, the way it's very smartly shaded, all the creases and stuff. That face is not bad, man. It's not a huge face. I mean, literally, you're looking at like a penny and a half, probably the size of my thumb, maybe a little bit bigger, obviously. But
like weird. I don't know. I'm old and all that, but I do like the new Wednesday Addams.
I don't even know anything about her.
Yeah, General Ortega as Wednesday Addams. She just plays it really well.
Jason. I thought you were talking about Rouser when you were saying Jason.
No,
yeah, I'm thinking, no, I think this is. And then I looked over. Yeah, it's Jason. Yeah, okay, Jason sounds the same. I gotcha. Yeah, nice stuff, man. I really do like what you did here, man.
Yeah.
It would be hard to really nitpick that face because it's so small. And I love all the little hairs you got around the top there of the hair coming down on fake skin.
Yeah, it's only small. I mean, if I would say, just watch over tops of your eyes, your eyelashes, pupils of your eyes. I know it's very hard to get in. I may need to change the YouTube name. But yeah, the texture you got in the jacket.
Yeah, under the eye feels a little dark, but then again, Andy, we're not looking at references. We don't know.
But it
when
is.
Look at it. It looks nice.
If you watch, if you've seen it, she is dark under eyes.
Yeah, she does. See, that's the thing. I don't know.
Yeah. You see, I like this bit. You know that it's done here. This little bit of texture. You know, under the chin.
Yeah.
Around the chin. If anything, I would probably say, the lips are a bit too full for her.
Right.
That's me, not so much on the tattooing side. That's me looking at the Wednesday Addams side after watching.
You know, that ear looks nice, though. Ears can be often forgotten. Even at times, I find myself kind of rushing through an ear at times, you know, because especially in real life, because you might, when I get up to the face, I'm focusing on the main pieces, then filling out, and the ears kind of go last. So sometimes if there's a stencil to be lost in a face, it's sometimes the ears. So nice job. That ear looks super believable.
Yeah, I like this when it's got this through here, not jacket. Actually, when I'm looking at this hand and I'm thinking to myself, you know something, it's not bad, and it's got over knuckles, and it's got the shading, and I can just see this thumb coming up, you know, through there. This positioning of this hand is nice on the umbrella. Yeah,
it doesn't feel off. It feels like it's resting there. The hair is nice, proper. Yeah, this is a cool piece. And to have it all backdropped, you're able to get all this brightness because of that heavy black umbrella. So cool. Yeah. I definitely like this. That was cool. Hey, I don't even know what that is, but that is cool. That's funny.
This is freaking me out. Is this?
That's creepy, man. I don't know what the heck it is. Creepy. But it is cool. It is cool. Blue shading, man.
I'm looking at this eye straight away. I don't know about you, Dave. And I'm looking. See this dark?
Oh, that eyeball
pushes in there. It pushes it, and it pushes his eyeball right out.
Yeah, that's the power of black in the right spots.
Yeah.
Always still trying to get better at that. But yeah, that eyeball definitely feels like that's what you're going for. Can you reach in there and grab that eyeball? And it does have that effect. I like the black on the lip right there. It comes around.
Yeah, through here.
Yeah, the hair is super dark with nice highlights. The shading is really smooth gradations. You got a collarbone that's nicely defined there.
Yeah.
Hair lays on everything nicely. The feet, or whatever the heck you want to call those, are nicely done as well. Yeah, it's just cool, man. Again, I don't know what the heck I'm looking at, but I can appreciate.
I appreciate the tattoo.
Yeah, we can look at the tattooing skill and go, hey, we get that. Bradley says, you can skip mine, Andy. I can't go after that. Oh, come on. Come on. Dude, hey, it's great. Again, it's awesome work on fake skin. I think this person, again, I don't know, Chasen, I don't know your work that well, unfortunately, but I hope that you're working on tattooing human skin. Maybe you do. Maybe you're in the works of doing a little here, a little there, but definitely start pushing because I think you're, you're definitely in that spot. So like, hey, man, might want to start making that transition if you haven't already.
It's definitely on the transition. It definitely should be transitioning over at this point.
Yeah, because if you get too stuck doing fake skin, the letdown when you go to human skin initially is going to be hard and you don't want to break you, you know what I mean? Because it is different if you haven't done it already. But push through it, because it'll get this good, just as good over time.
Yeah. I like this. You see nose, right? It's got this little mid-tone here, dark here, open space there, and it really gives that flatness. As if it's,
Yeah.
I don't know whether this is meant to be chicken, or whether he's got a pair of boobs or whatever.
I don't know what's going on there, to be fair.
I don't know what's going on, but it's
zero ideas. But
really bending my head up. But like you said, Dave, we've got darks where there should be darks. We've got mid-tones where there should be mid-tones. I mean, this line is smooth. It's in, over here. This is a darker one. Obviously, it's put it in darker. Got nice lines through here and everything. Hair's nicely offset in a different style. And I mean,
and they got artistic.
Definitely, I agree.
There's obviously artisticness, for lack of better lingo, in you. You know what I mean? So it's good when you got.
That's it. My advice, like Dave says, Jason, you need to start getting your ass on human skin. Whether you want to work a little bit smaller on human skin, or whether you may be already working on human skin, but just start transitioning yourself over. Otherwise, you're going to get too far stuck into your comfort zone on here. That when you do jump over, that nothing is ever going to be good enough for you. Yeah,
and you don't want to risk you're going to get frustrated, believe me, but get through it now. You know what I mean? Because if you keep working on fake skin and you keep going to where you're really loving what you're doing, and you're going to be let down, or people are going to be like, man, I seen your work on that fake skin. I want something like that. Then you find like, okay. And then you realize it's different. You do a nice piece, but it's not as nice as you want it to be. Blah, blah, blah. If you've been here long enough, Andy, I'm going to run use the restroom real quick. I'm just going to mute myself. I'll be right back.
And like we said, Jason, start transitioning yourself over onto human skin. And if you don't like working on human skin, Jason, if you can find yourself one of these, whatever it is, and they're willing to let you tattoo, use this skin or whatever this is on. It's, this creepy looking dude. If they're going to let you tattoo their skin, crack on, because that's where you need to be. Is Reverend Crazy 9 and done? What the F is that? Creepy. Yeah, it's good. It's creepy. Nobody knows exactly what it is. It's got some weird head with like, I don't know, it's chicken, it's boobs, it's honestly I don't know, but the tattoo just freaks me out. But it's cool. It is cool, and it's done well. What more can you say?
Oh, Jason said, I'm sure you probably read that. He was aiming for next winter.
Wow.
Good. Well, hey, you know what? If it hasn't been that long, then carry on. You know what I mean? If you want to wait till next winter, that's fine. Maybe, suggestion, maybe. I would say do small stuff. We see this often here, Andy. do nicer, smoother things on fake skin, and you have infinite amount of time too. But when it comes to transitioning to the human skin, if you want, you can maybe use your own like top of your thigh or something. If you're like, no, I don't want to tattoo myself, you'll find somebody obviously who let you tattoo them. Do some small stuff, you know what I mean? Some small, solid black, open skin, kind of like what you did on that fake skin, only maybe even less detailed, you know, even smaller. Get a taste of what that's like. Oh, so you can start the wheels can start turning, going, okay, yeah, this skin's I gotta do the stretching thing, depths, blah blah blah. Crap, I blew out a line. I don't ever have to worry about that on fake skin, you know. Just start it small, but keep doing these fun pieces on fake skin little by little. So by next winter, maybe you're, you know, further along, you know. I don't know. I'm just slowly dabble in it, you know, as you move along. But you know yourself best. We just hate to see somebody get stuck on fake skin too long and then have a really hard transition.
And it's like I say, it's only been at it since New Year.
Right. So what are we talking? 3 months. So
something like that. Because the other thing you could do, Jason, because I assume that you're working on this fake skin flat on a desk. So another thing to prep you when you're going over, get yourself a roll of tissue roll, kitchen roll, couch roll or whatever. Just wrap it up, put it in a bag or whatever. But then tape your work down over it, so it's on a curved surface like that. And then you've got to practice like it'd be on a leg or an arm, putting your hands on it to hold it, and it'd be all squashy. And then you've got to try pull your lines over, and there's a lot more give underneath it, like there would be in real skin. It's a good way to transition between working on a flat, like you're probably doing here on a hard surface, to working on some like couch roll. It wraps around some couch roll as if it were over your leg or over your arm.
Yeah.
You've got to stretch it. There's a lot more give in it. That will help you no end before going on to real skin, along with you've got to try pull a straight line over a curved surface while it's bobbing in and out. It's just
it definitely gets tricky. Locations when tattooing are huge. I mean, huge. Tattoo a neck, tattoo a chest, a back, a this, a that. Well, actually, backs aren't too bad in my opinion, but you get some weird spots. A foot, you know.
He says he puts it on fake skin on an armrest. Yeah, but you put your fake skin on an armrest. But if you've got some, and I know this in as big as what it is, but if you had a roll of tissue that's like that, and you put your skin over the top of it, and then put that on top of your armrest, then what you're having to do is you're having to pull straight lines this way, that way. You're having to shade, plus it'd be all soft underneath, like somebody's leg would be. And you're having to put that bit of extra pressure on, which is just going to get you used to getting onto real skin.
Body parts, you know. And the thing there is, the work you do doing that is probably not going to be as good, obviously. So now you're, like Andy said, you're trying to curl around stuff and keep the skin from bouncing and whatnot. So the quality is going to go down. But if you're going to wait till next winter, then like I said, do things like that. Understand that things aren't going to look as good. Well, that's because you're doing something different now. You're making it harder for yourself. Putting this, you know, the conditions are worse. And then keep doing it till you get better at it. You get more comfortable. And yeah, that's great.
Cool. So
more there.
Bradley Pritchard. Hey Andy, I wasn't happy with this week's practice. I ran my normal setup with the wand packer, 11 round liner, CNC police cart at 6.8 volts. It seemed like I could not get the fake skin to take the ink this time and had to do multiple passes. I bumped up my voltage to 7.5 and it helped, but still nothing like my skull I sent in. At one point I even snagged the skin at the top, and I'm sure that you'll see, and I bet I would have been painful on a real person, probably, but I've snagged skin on a real person myself, I'll be honest.
Me too.
Anybody that says they haven't at some point is lying.
Yeah, and you know, most of the time when I snag skin, they don't feel it. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I've changed for this to happen, so any guidance will be appreciated. First picture is what I did in Procreate, the second is on real skin. Boom, Procreate. So this must be his design that is designed in Procreate, which is a nice, simple design, good-looking design.
Yeah, I like that. Like the paper he's got that he used in the background. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that he's doing something simple. Right.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely see. You know what? When you were reading that, Andy, I was thinking, what could help, and it might not. I'm just saying, try a different type of needle group. I remember when we first saw the first skull, you were like, "I'm using 11 round liner. I'm really liking it." Try, and you might hate it. You might not. Try using a round shader. Try a 9-round shader. Give it a go. Use it the same way you use a 11 round liner, and see how you like that. That's separate from anything we're gonna say, but I encourage you, man, to try a round shader. I think a 9 is a nice, like, traditional style look, 9-round shader. But okay, that's all I had to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing as well is if you're snagging, one, it can be hand speed versus your needle hang. If you've got a lot of needle hang and you're your hands moving too fast for your machine, that is when you will more than likely get a skin snag. I think with the sound of what you're saying is you need to slow your hand speed back down.
Yeah. And he should have probably go to maybe 7 volts. I think 6.8, 7 volts. Slow your hand down a little bit. Make sure your needle's not hanging too far out.
Yeah. And your angle's correct.
Yeah, definitely want to have decent angle at it. You know, you're moving. Think of your line. I'm sure you're doing these things. We just don't know. Obviously, so much that we don't know is really plan out that line the whole way. You know, make sure, especially in the beginning. So if you're going to plant your hand in one spot, say you're not sliding your hand, right? You're planting your hand. So think about how far can I move my hand before everything gets too far out, the angle gets weird, and make sure you start your hand in the right spot if you're going to do it that way. If not, maybe put a little bit of Vaseline because it's so sticky on the fake skin on your hand, and start here and just kind of let your hand glide down.
It's like I say, if you biggest thing I think, like you say, drop the voltage back down a little bit. Slow your hand down. I think this, because two things were what you were saying. You're having a problem getting ink going in, and then you were snagging. Now, quite simple, if your hand is running too fast for your machine, you're going to snag, and the ink's not going to go. The ink's not going to go in properly.
Right.
If you should be pulling a line at that speed with your voltage, and you're going like that at the same voltage, you're going to catch the skin because you're not giving the needles chance to retract back out of the skin to get back in. You're trying to move it, and you're also moving it that fast. You're not giving it chance to punch the set of dots in close enough together to make the line as it goes down, and that's where your lines wouldn't be going in properly. So I think that could be your main problem, and it's hard for a lot of people to slow the hand down to the correct speed that it needs to be. And I'll be honest here, I don't know about you, I know some people that have just never been able to slow the hand down to that speed. So what they've had to do is they've had to run their machines up to like 9-10 volts.
I've heard of this. Man, but again, it all comes down to the person, the amount of pressure they're applying.
Yeah.
All those varying factors, and the machine you're using, because 7 volts on one machine is different from 7 volts on another. I know 7 volts, 7.5 volts on the wand packer is a pretty good amount of voltage.
But that sounds to me like it's obviously it's a combination between your voltage and your hand speed where it's gone wrong. And
yeah, because there are times I remember when I would tattoo, because I didn't get to do a lot of fake skin in my very short and not well done apprenticeship. Fake skin was like so frowned upon. It's very old school. It's like if you had skin, then that's where you practiced. And we didn't have pen style machines and all that. It was coil machines. So if I didn't set my machine up right, one day I might set it up. Nobody taught me anything. So if my needle hang was right and I actually had the voltage right and the thing happened to be tuned, boom, man, I was like, oh man, I got this. And the next time I wouldn't set it up right because I just got lucky the first time. Again, no one really showed me, and there wasn't any videos on YouTube about using coil machines at the time. So the next one would be bad. So you could have found the nice needle to voltage for that particular day and how you were moving. And then the next time you don't realize it, you remember yourself moving faster. You remember one thing. So then a week later you come around to practice again. You forget that, no, you were actually going a bit slower than you thought you were. When I slow down, I feel like I get these little slices on the skin and I'm chewing up. Then slow your machine down a little bit too.
Yeah.
Potentially. I mean, it's a balance and you got to find it. And then when you get to human skin, you're fine tuning even more because some people have paper thin skin, some have tough. Sometimes you're in the bouncy area. Sometimes you're in this, like, it's just wonderful times, so get used to adjusting fire until you're getting the result you want.
That's it. It's just you're forever working on a knife edge, basically. You're just balancing between your voltage, your hand speed, your needle depth. It's just it's like trying to stand on top of a football.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like if you were trying to stand on. If you had to try stand on top of a football, you've got to balance yourself forward, backwards, left to right, and everything. And so, like tattooing with your needle, your voltage, and your hand speed, it's like that at first, as if you're trying to balance on top of a football.
Right, right.
Once you've been doing it a while and you start to get to understand, and it becomes a bit second nature, you can preempt what you're going to do. Well, I'm going to use 11 round liner. Tell you what, I'll start, and it's going on thigh. I've got 4.5 millimeter. I'll start at 7.1 volts. Pull your first line, and you'll either go, yeah, it's all right, or I'll just edge it down, or I'll edge it up, or no, it's not quite in. Speed and everything, it's not quite in. I need to throw my needles out a little bit more. It's not quite as saturated as what I want. And it's just little things like that. All it becomes is more second nature to you is the more you do it. And that's what it is. And you just got to get over that balancing act. Slow I get, shaky even worse. I haven't figured it out yet. Breathe, Mike, breathe. Confidence, breathe. And that's, but I mean, I know you said you've gone over lines loads of times yet, and can sort of like see here and this thickness, but if you've gone over what I will say is if you've had to go over these lines multiple times, some of these lines you've hit again, no problem. Obviously, we can see where they've passed in places, and some of them are thicker, and
right.
But he knows, and he's already preempted us.
Yeah, there's nothing. We could zoom in on each one and say, hey, this one's been double hit, but you know that this is more about what without us watching you, without us knowing everything you're doing, just kind of guessing, what might be the issue.
There we go. Jason, this is the old added thing. I'm a little worried about tattooing someone in a non-legal shop setting. I don't want to fuck up the career before it happens. Right. Any tattoo artist, as they're coming up, that says that they haven't tattooed from the bedroom, the living room, the kitchen, the garage, the basement, anywhere else, as they've been learning on Friends, this, that, and other is lying.
I agree 100%. I have tattooed more time in illegal locations, if you will, than I ever have in a legal spot. And not to say like, well, this is great, guys, everybody should do it. But what I'm saying is when you become legal, make sure you bash on everybody who tattoos from their kitchen, because apparently that's what we're supposed to do. Everybody makes it their way, but once they get there, then they go, everything that everybody else is doing is wrong. You need to do it this way. And I get it. They're like, look, now I'm doing things right, so I'm going to tell everybody else that they're wrong. But this group of people, the people that we talk to, most aren't in a shop, and that's okay because apprenticeships are different nowadays and they're harder to get because the industry is more saturated now because there's so much information out there nowadays. From what I've noticed, people are more so going off the streets, like they've never worked in a shop, and they're going to a shop going, hey, look, this is what I can do. And they're like, all right, yeah, if you want to work here, we'll help you out a little bit. Maybe we can fine tune some stuff, but you got the bones, come on in. You're working there. They're not necessarily, not every place. There's plenty of places that this is not applied to. But a lot of times you can come straight from, if I had a shop that was able to take on more people and somebody came to me and they showed me a body of work, human skin stuff even, and said, hey, look, this is what I got. And I'm looking at him going, yeah, this is good, man. This is good. I would like to see how you set up, tear down. Just make sure, you're not, and then we'll help you out there if you're a hot mess. But yeah, I would hire somebody. I'm not going to go like, well, where'd you apprentice at? Let me see this. Let me see that. Let me do this or that, because of the way it is now, there's so much information out there. You can learn on your own, get enough of a repertoire, enough of a bag of tricks, enough of a body of work to say, I can do this. And I think that's what you're going to see more of, people coming into the shops that way than the traditional apprenticeship way. Those are still going to be happening, but I think you're going to see them even less. I think, personally, my thoughts. I don't know. Somebody out there is wiser, could probably tell me otherwise.
What do they call it, Dave? If you're not in a shop, you're a scratcher. Right. So, but we've all been there. We've all done it. And anybody that says that, bullshit. It's just one of them things. Because it's so hard to get into a shop, so hard to do this and that. And a lot of tattoo artists, shall we say, self-sanctimonious pricks. And I'll probably get shot out somewhere along the line for saying that. But hey, they are. And they forget where they're from and the roots.
Danik wouldn't hire you. Too old, Andy. Insurance would get out of hand.
Unfortunately, see, it's the other way. Danik, you've got that wrong because it's the other way. The older you get, the insurance is cheaper.
You're less likely to be an idiot.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
And they know they're not going to have to tattoo you for much longer before you retire and leave them alone.
Yeah, and the other thing about tattooing, let's say, like we'll call it home tattooing, whatever, is the best thing you can do if you're taking it more serious is to hollow out a place in your living area, your house, your whatever. So you can, if you're going to do it, you're going to if you're going to be at home, build up a little bit of a repertoire, you're going to tattoo, okay? You're better off to find a little spot, you know what I mean? In your living area, where you ain't got carpet, where you can clean up, there's enough information out there that you can be really quite sanitary on your own, right? That's what I would encourage you to do if you're going to take it a little further. If you're going to go, I'm going to apprentice myself, I'm going to learn myself, I'm going to get as good as I can get, and maybe I can get into a shop, maybe, you know what I mean? Just to be legit, I guess. And then, but in the meantime, practice as if you are in a shop. Treat it like you would. Keep it clean, just have a place to dispose your stuff. Clean up, tear down, do the whole thing right. So when you do have your buddy who doesn't give a shit come in because you're going to tattoo him, you'd be like, wow, okay, you're doing your best, man. You're doing things. This looks pretty good. I've been into shops that were gross. So, I mean, it's really nice.
Like I said, Bradley, I enjoy having lights on and folding for my kids. So traditional apprenticeship isn't feasible for me. I totally get it. Get it because, especially over here, a lot of apprenticeships start with don't pay and you self-fund yourself. You self-fund yourself.
Yep.
They don't pay and you get tracked like shit.
Yeah, and it's understandable not to get paid because, I mean, you're not doing anything for them. A lot of times they're, assuming it depends on the apprenticeship, obviously. But I understand why they don't pay you. I get it. You're learning. They're allowing you to come in there and learn from them. They're going to teach you something in return. You're going to be there and learn and probably do some shit stuff along the way. Makes sense. But like myself, I was like 29 when I got into it. 30. And so it wasn't feasible. A couple kids, it's not happening. I tried it. I did it for a while. It was a shit place anyhow. It just the quality of education was crap because You know, they just weren't there to teach you. You know, it's different. But nowadays, you know, you can learn that stuff on your own.
What you say you started when you were 29, Dave?
Yeah.
But you're only 31.
I wish, man, that'd be cool. No, I'm 35. So I just ticked like the 5-year mark. I mean, it was like 1 year and some change where I don't know, it wasn't really tattooing per se. About a year there where I was in the shop and it was hit or miss, off and on. But I'd say it's finally been about 5 years of me on my own, learning, doing it. And I heard a long time ago when I was starting, somebody in a podcast or something said at about 5 years, they feel like they can tattoo on a very comfortable, a very steady, a very whatever basis. And I remember thinking like 5 years, that's retarded. I'm going to know everything by 5 years. You know, I don't know. It's just this like, that's a long time. But here I am, a little over 5 years going, I see what they're saying. I can tattoo. You know, it's not like you can tattoo anything, but you can tattoo what comes in. You know how to tattoo. You feel comfortable. You're not stressing. You're not worried. You're just doing your job. But at the same time, you realize that you still know nothing. Like there's so much more to know. There's so many more things. You're like, you start learning more about the healing. You start learning more about this, that, and the other. You can do 10 years. I can see 20 years and still being like, there's still more to scratch and there's still more to figure out. And so, yeah.
Thing. And like I say, you're always learning. You're never not learning. And if you
don't stop.
If you think you're gonna stop learning and you don't want to learn anymore, pack your machine up and pack it in. You know what I mean? Because you've just got to be constantly learning all the time. Because things change anyway. So you've got to be willing to change with everything that's going along. Jason's put, yes, I'm 38 now. I wish I would have started when I was 18, but never too late, I guess. It's never too late. 38 is probably not a bad age, Jason. But if you'd have started when you were 18, you go back another 20 years, trying to get an apprenticeship, trying to learn. You wouldn't have been able to learn like you do now because all this wouldn't have been available.
That's right.
2, trying to get into a tattoo shop, unless you smoke crack, injected yourself with heroin and all like that, you ain't going to get in. You know, or back a day. That's just not going to happen because everything has changed in that 20 years. And even if you had got in, you'd have just been treated as somebody's bitch and chop. That's all you'd have been. Yeah.
And the other thing, Andy, you're not the same person. At 38, at 40, at 30, you're not the same. At 18, your work ethic, your look down the road, all those things were different. Even if you had good in any of those, it's still, you're a little more disciplined. You've lived a little bit more life. You're not chasing the tail as much. You know, you might be a little more stable and whatnot. Here we go with the stand by for geriatric stream. But again, like if you started when you were young, though, it's a totally different situation. You're different. You're a different person. Who's to say you'd still be doing it? You know what I mean? Yeah. Geriatric stream. But I hope that
I'm not oldest anyway. Smoke's older than me.
There you go.
There you go. Smoke, you old.
Yeah. No, being sober and tattooing is an important thing. Mike's 57, and Bradley'd like to hear a little bit oil.
What's that? Jason, I'm a lot more sober now, lol. Not sober, but more sober. I can't rush out, I don't drink. What's that, Bradley picture? Baby oil. No, that's it. I refuse to say it anymore now. That's it. I should only say it if I get paid for it, Dave.
What's that?
I should just make it as that's it.
Oh yeah. We can start an oldie tattoo chat. We already have one. We literally have it. Little did I know, me and Bradley are the two youngest people here. Yeah. Not by a lot, but I think Bradley's got me beat. I think he's late 20s. You know, I'm literally mid 30s, 35. Are you late to the show? But glad to have you.
Yeah, that going on the back of baby oil. Me and Dave when we got off camera.
yeah. I think I made $5 or something total, Andy. I mean, off Andy, man. I'm just hoeing it out.
Like, yeah.
He's out here baby oiling it up.
I'll you later. Yeah, like you say. Drop channel. That's what I'll say. Anybody's in, there's 20 watching. Like, share, subscribe, ring notification bell. We usually got live once a week. I've been getting a couple of videos out. I know the one that I've done today, I videoed some of the butterflies, even though I forgot to take my camera equipment to work. So I did it off my phone, managed to get a bit of an angle. Nice. And I'm going to try cut it, put it together from stencil to my setup. Colours I've used, my base colours that I've used, through the black, through the colouring to finish. Try to get something together, edit something together, and try to get it done. And then Sunday, usually, we're over on your channel, aren't we, Dave? Art something.
Yep, that will be the 15th. We're gonna have Sunday off before Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back over there. I think on the 15th. 16th. That Sunday, and we'll do tattoo critiquing over there. Have a little change it up, like I said, every few weeks. We'll probably swap it around because, you know, we get bored doing one thing, so we move it to this day, and then we'll flip it that way, and then, you know, come up with different things, just hanging out.
So with it, YouTube algorithm likes us messing about.
I don't know what's up with YouTube. I'm done trying to figure out any algorithm. Somebody's telling me that, like, if you did a little more fancy stuff with your reels, they'd get more views and more likes. I was like, I don't really care. I said, look, I take a video, I go and find a song or a sound, slap that behind it, and I put it out there. I just, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. I just don't, the time it takes to try to compete. I'm just done trying to compete. You know, if the algorithm worked for me years ago, where it was more like people looked for information, they found information. Now YouTube feeds you stuff, and so it's really hard to compete with everybody, you know what I mean? Plus the industry's got more saturated. So I just think let everybody just do the thing. I just want to enjoy it, and I know, Andy, you're in the same boat. You just want to have fun.
Yeah, I mean,
enjoy the people and not
just
the rat race of being this social media. What's your social media plan? What's your Instagram plan? What's your Facebook plan? I don't got no plan. I'm just gonna tattoo, take a photo or a video, and post it every once in a while.
That's it. I just enjoy doing it, and I thought I'd never have said that, but it's until I got on. I probably would have never have done it until I got on your channel with you, Dave, and I openly admit shitting myself first time. This time I said yeah, and I'd come on, and that. But I found out that I actually quite enjoyed it and passing a bit on. That everybody then sort of like, oh, have you got one? Have you got one? I just recently started messing about on this one, and like I say, I'll upload all sorts of different stuff if I think it might be okay or whatever, and I remember to video it, film it, whatever. I'm not saying I'm no Steven Spielberg, so I'm not saying it's going to be the best stuff, but you just never know. You just do it. Mike, how do you see your work? Either Instagram or Facebook, or probably on this channel, because I'll have some stuff, same as Dave. Stuff's here at the bottom of the page. My Facebook is LSINKTATTOOS. My Instagram is LSINK2019. Dave's Facebook is Death Punch Inc. And his Instagram is at daveinks.88. So you can find either of us, Facebook or Instagram. What I would say, and I have said that, please, my Facebook page, if you're going to message and you're going to message me, can you please use Instagram? Because my Facebook page is business and business only. And we get a lot of messages. And if people start coming through there's like 3 or 4 people attached to chat, and they're going like, oh, fucking sending all this through, you know what I mean? So people just send it through Insta now.
No, that's smart. Same. If you I don't know. I try to reply, so I'm not even gonna tell people what to, because I suck at replying. I've gotten better. I have definitely gotten better. But each year will probably get a little bit better. Also, as far as the Facebook goes, I think, Andy, when I move to Texas and I will technically be renting a booth in someone's shop, I'll probably end up changing my Facebook to match my Instagram. It'll probably be daveinks.88 across both, because it might get confusing for people outside. It's like, well, he works at blah, 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 but for some reason he's under this. So it'll just be probably eventually be daveinks.88 on Facebook as well, but it doesn't really make a big difference. Same guy, same work.
I mean, we're here to help. We have a bit of a laugh as we're doing it. We'll help. Any questions, we'll try answer them. And that. We'll just try to do us bit. But as we say it, and as me and Dave say it, and we're openly honest about it, just please, please, please remember, we are just two ordinary, everyday tattoo artists that just make a living every day, that are just willing to come on, give up us time, talk to you, look at your work, try help you out. We are no Rembrandts, no Picassos, no ink masters or whatever. We're just willing to do us bit, and if you can take a little bit away from it and it works for you, so be it. If you just want to come and have banter and you like tattooing, so be it.
That's most of what we like to do, Andy. That's what me and Andy like to do. If we could, we would just BS here for like 2 hours. And banter. Yeah, and but YouTube's like, all right, what's your title? What's your thumbnail? It's like, how do we get away with just BS and without telling people we're just going to be.
In fact, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Next week, either Wednesday or Thursday, Dave.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys in here, whether it's thing. Next Wednesday or Thursday, I might have a few little bits, but we'll just have straight up bullshit and banter. Just straight up bullshit and banter.
That's what you're going to title. That's what you're going to title it, thumbnail it.
I'm going to title it, and I'm going to thumbnail it as bullshit and banter, tattoo style.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
We'll just come on, we'll chat. I want as many people from the chat to come in, join in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Post questions, chat, have a laugh.
We should do a roll call. Yeah, name and location in the chat.
Yeah.
Or nothing.
Jason thinks, I like it. Bradley, you'll be oldest Ink Master contestant. I won't even bother with it. Ooh. I couldn't even be asked with that.
I wouldn't do it either. I really wouldn't do it. Like there's a different level, I believe. Obviously, never been in that position, but when cameras are on you and pressure's applied, and the whole world is watching. Well, the whole world. Yeah. You can crumble. You can make mistakes, and those are when you're going to do it too. The world says when you need to do the best you can, when you need to do what you normally do, it's not going to happen. You're going to end up crumbling. And so I do feel for a lot of these contestants who are good, and they just have bad moments. Before tattooing, no, I would just be like, that's no good. But once you learn tattooing, you realize shit happens. But
yeah, Mad Tattoos. Andy changed over to Dell, replacing green soap. My stencil stayed darker at the start of the tattoo till the end. Less redness of skin. Yes, you will probably find out that as well. And like I said, I've only got a little bit. Like I did say, I've only got a little bit of green soap left, and I'm going back old school. When I've done, and you don't need loads and loads in, and it's an antibacterial.
Archie later had a question about, which is something I don't know I can really answer it, but that long one, I don't know if you see that one over there, that long
one.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about tattooing styles that have a deeper meaning, like Japanese tattoo? There's so much to it that people actually study it to make the design right. If someone says, I want
dragon and mask, what do you do? Okay, well, I'm with you here because I have not studied traditional. I've never studied traditional Japanese work, and I do know that if someone wants, first thing I would ask them is to say, you know, okay, they want, let's say, a dragon, right? I did a dragon the other day. And that's one of the first things you want to ask. Like, are you looking for a traditional Japanese dragon, or you just want like a cool dragon? Do you want, you know what I mean? Do you want the cool parts that, you know, the average person looks, oh, dragon, flower, blah, blah, blah. Is that what you want? Yeah, I just want it cool. I really like, okay. So now you know that you can be creative, do whatever you want to do, and it doesn't have to be within the Japanese realm of correctness. If somebody does say like, no, I want it traditional Japanese style, I would say, I'm sorry, that's not something I do. I'm not familiar with Japanese work. You know, I could give you a cool dragon. I could give you this, that, or the other, but that is not something I do. Because if I wanted to take that job on, then I would technically have to go and do my research and whatnot. And somebody else that does that on the regular is going to tell me that I still probably did it wrong. And for how rare they come in, which they don't, I've never had one here where I'm at. No one's come in and asked for a traditional Japanese style thing, at least not per the rules of Japanese. Yeah, so really, if it's onesie twosie that come in over the course of time, those are ones that I'm completely fine with turning them away or sending them somewhere or telling them, hey, this is what you should do to find that person that does that style. And there's probably a lot of people that have traditional Japanese tattoos that probably aren't even correct per all the rules that go into it, the type of colors, you know, this, that, the other. I mean, it might not take you much to figure it out, but in my case, because I haven't done the proper, I'm not properly educated in that, I would honestly turn it down. But that's up to you. Talk to the client, because sometimes the clients don't realize it. They're just looking for something cool that is Japanesey, you know, and I hope this makes sense. But anyhow, so yeah, like I assumed I wouldn't be able to answer your question properly, but that's what I would do. Send them to somebody that knows best, unless you're willing to put in the time to figure it out. But ouch. Okay, until Andy comes back with the ability to pop up comments and stuff on the screen, I'm just gonna read what we got over here. From what I understand, traditional Japanese is the hardest to learn. Yeah, and it takes a willingness to learn. And what would be the willingness to learn is if you had a demand for it or you had a passion for it. You really like, and a lot of times people get a passion for it. They fall in love with the Japanese style. Like, there's a lot of movement in it. There's a lot of certain things and the way they lay out their designs. And so they go that route. You know, they might do other stuff, but they go that route more so. They seek it out a bit more. And so, yeah, it is hard to do right and hard to understand if you just thinking like, oh, yeah. That's like you see a lot of people doing those oh gosh, can't think of it. It looks like a tribal, but not tribal. It's, you know, all these angles and lines and shapes and Polynesian. And so they don't understand Polynesian work. So they just kind of do what they see or whatnot, right? And so a lot of people walking around with Polynesian work. It's not really Polynesian work, but did that person want traditional Polynesian work, or did they just like the look of it? I'm like, hey, can you give me something cool like this, right? I would turn that stuff down. In fact, there's somebody that I've been left hanging for a while. I need to let him know that I'm not going to do it because I don't understand it properly, so I'm not going to do it incorrectly. Jason says, I like Japanese, but I'm not sure if I would take that on. Right. You know, and that's up to you. It's up to you. Do you want to learn that? What if someone wants a tattoo that makes no sense at all? You try to talk them over to chance, but they still want or you try to talk them out of it maybe to change it, but they still want the one they gave you. Okay. So there's a couple ways I would think of this. So the last part of that statement made me change what I was thinking, but I'll give you what I thought you were saying prior to the last bit of there. What if somebody wants a tattoo that makes no sense at all? So we'll start with that. And they don't want to change. Let's say they don't want to change it. It makes no sense at all. You can either turn that down, like, look, it doesn't make enough sense to me. I don't want it. Boom. Or you can do it and give them exactly what they want, and it doesn't make any sense, right? So that's the one thing. Or you turn it down. The third part of this, at the bottom, you said, but they still want the one they gave you. So that means sounds like they maybe gave you a tattoo of something they want. It doesn't make no sense maybe. And you're like, well, but they want that tattoo. So I've had people bring me a tattoo and they go, hey, I want something like this. And so you design them something completely different, or different, not completely, but like it. And then they go, well, yeah, but I was thinking more like the one I gave you. But what really ends up happening is what they're saying is, just give me the one I gave you. But they don't want to say that because they know that it's somebody else's tattoo. And those cases are a little more tricky. You got to, at that point, go, look, if this is what you want, I can give you that, but I'm going to make a few changes to it, and that's all you're going to get. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not giving you the exact one. I've done it in the past, but because of people like that, no, I want this. And it's like, all right, well, I'll do the tattoo, even though it's not mine. Somebody else did this tattoo already. It's fine to do when you're practicing fake skin. I get that. But at some point, you really want to veer away from it. And so, anyhow, I don't know if I answered the question, but that's my blabber on that.
I was just scrolling down, seeing what I'd missed on, chat and that. Because, like I say, that traditional Japanese that I ate later were on about how it was like. Yeah, I think it's such a niche thing now that you're better off being, rather than sit, unless you're really high up on the food chain of tattooists and you've got so many clients that's all you can specialize in, then fair play. But other than that, I think you're better off become more of a all-round tattoo artist, can do a little bit of most things. That way then, and I know me and you have spoke about this between ourselves, that rather than just probably specialising in one area at the minute, I like what I do. I get to do a bit of everything. Dave likes to lean towards more his black and grey, where I'd like to lean more towards colour. But we've been able to do, with having businesses, we've been able to do a bit of each. Still keeps food on table, keeps lights on, keeps clothes on your kids' back, this, that, and other. I enjoy it. I enjoy the variety, to be fair.
Me too, man. It's fun to be like, all right, well, tomorrow we're doing this crazy color thing or black and gray. What I have found is the best way for me at this point to kind of push what I like, but still get to do what I know as well. Like, you learn how to do a bunch of things. So how do you best blend them? So for me, somebody will come in and they'll be like, hey, I want this color this and color that, and it's like, all right, well, hey, I'd feel more comfortable if you want me to do it, what if we do black and gray with color coming through? That's what I'll be more comfortable taking on, because I'm trying to push a little bit more of what I like. And that's what I've been doing. So a lot more of my work is black and gray with punches of color, and the clients, they really like this because, in their brain, they didn't think about that. But now that color is more vibrant, it's more in your face because there's all that black and gray around it. So I get to enjoy doing what I like and what my eyes can easily see, but still get to do something that I've learned. I've learned to do color. Might as well incorporate that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I like this, what Jason's put up here. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm a showman, a bit of all around.
Yeah.
It's become an all-round tattoo artist, but I really like cartoons and anime. Right, Jason? I like that stuff. I like cartoons and anime. This sets you up for being, what you like there sets you up for being an illustrative tattoo artist. Now, illustrative is one of the more common, most mainly used styles, I would say. Whether an illustrative can be in black and grey or colour. You can use either, or you can use a mixture. I would class myself as more illustrative tattoo than either semi-realism. I don't touch realism or hyper-realism. Right. I might border on semi-realism if I have to, but even in this category of illustrative, you can still do what faces and everything, because usually the faces that you do are, so if somebody came to you and want a specific person, like I had a lady come to me, and she was like David Bowie, but she wanted him done as a character from the film Labyrinth. That is not a problem. Can do that. Now, if it was a portrait of David Bowie, I wouldn't have done it. But on the backside of that, I did that. She was totally happy with it. And then I got a phone call about 3 days later, and a woman phoned me up. And I still play it a day. She phoned me up. I'm after the tattoo. She says, yes, how can I help you? So I want a portrait of Elvis Presley. I don't do, unfortunately, love, I don't do portraits. To that, she went, yes, you do. I went, I don't do portraits. I'm sorry. It's something I don't specialise in. You want a black and grey, somebody that does portraits, this time. She went, you do portraits. I've seen you do portraits. I've seen you post portraits. I went, I don't. She went, yeah, I've seen you post portraits of David Bowie, you know, on that lady's sleeve. I went, no, that's not a portrait, love. That's an illustrative caricature of David Bowie. Oh, yeah. she wanted to have, argument over that.
Yep.
But that's one good thing with illustrative. You do get to do a whole genre of things, but not just in a realistic style.
Right.
You can do stuff in anime. You can do stuff in cartoon. You can do faces and everything, like I say, but they'll be in character.
Yes.
And that's what I like. I do like that.
That's fun too. That's fun. And that is true. You got to learn what you don't do. You got to know what you don't want to do per se, or you don't feel comfortable doing. But yeah, getting out there. You see that, I just read a comment from Baca was talking about ink caps. I think I probably have maybe an unpopular thought on it. They said, what I'm saying is the cups from a dirty factory overseas that don't care about the contamination themselves, but most of us don't think about rinsing them in alcohol or anything before use. Look, I get what you're saying, but at some point, you're going to be in a bubble. The only way you're going to feel comfortable is when you're in a bubble. I mean, there's so many things that are not perfect. Ink caps are probably one of them. The cups you pour your water in are probably one of them. Could be the water itself. You have to, and again, it's probably an unpopular opinion, but at some point, you know, you got to, I don't know, should I say draw the line and say, look, we're doing everything. Everything's disposable. We're throwing all this stuff away. We're cleaning everything, yada, yada. I go to a really nice dentist. I pay them way too much money. And I'm telling you, after doing this, there's things I see that they do that I'm like, that could be X, Y, or Z, you know, and they're working in my mouth. So I look at what I'm doing and I go, I think we're doing pretty decent. If we're starting cleaning out ink caps, and I know they do make some ink caps that are like sanitary, straight from, like they're sealed, the whole 9 yards. I don't know. I think we got to like calm the heck down a little bit. They've been doing this for how many years?
The other thing as well is, Dave, you got to remember, these ink caps, they come out. Yeah, they're not sterile. No, they're not. You put them on side, you glue them down, right? You put your ink in it. Your ink is sterile, right? It's sterilized as your ink. It's treated, and it'll say on your thing. Your ink also has, you're cleaning it out with isopropyl alcohol, right? But your ink's got isopropyl alcohol in it. So your theory on that could be, well, the isopropyl alcohol that's in the ink, when I put it in the cup, is killing any germs anyway.
Yeah. So, I mean, and again, I mean, you have everything together. You could be breathing over top of something, and you know, I mean, where are we at? What point are we going? You know, it's not going to be perfect. You follow every single perfection. Use some less like powder stuff. You'll see that it's still going to. It's a tough battle.
Backer, I was just watching a vid where a girl had an infection. They said it was contaminated ink, but I thought it could be a lot more. Right, look, I've seen this happen. I know it's happened. Somebody, see this here, right? It's nothing to do with the ink cup, right? And what happened was you got your ink cup sat on your side. When you take it out, it's clean. It's done and dusted. It's clean. It's not had any inks in it or anything. You take it out, glue it onto the side. Go put your ink in, hover it over your cap, which should be, when you're filling up, it should be at least about an inch away from your cap.
Yeah.
In it goes. Yeah, you might have a few drops here, there, and everywhere, but hey up, in the go. Fill it up. So you're using away, blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden your ink cap's low, a bit lower. So what happens then is you need to go refill it. But what people don't do is hold it right up again there. I've seen people sticking the bottle of ink in the ink cap or right down close to the ink cap, dropping it in. So then when you're squeezing it and when you let go, any splashes that you've been dipping into that have got blood, plasma, everything, and that the end of that ink bottle come back in. So as you let it off, sucks a little bit sucked back into ink bottle, sits inside your ink bottle, festering. You do that with 5 clients. You've got 5 different types of blood, 5 different types of plasma, all festering like a petri dish inside a bottle. I know somebody that did that. I know a tattooist, or have a tattooist, that did that and gave somebody bleeding sepsis.
Wow. And then you even run into there's certain colors, reds and greens, and maybe that tend to cause issues as well. You do the best you can, and if it makes you feel better, like, then do it. Then isopropyl alcohol your ink caps. You know what I mean? I mean, it's up to you. I'm just saying, be careful. And I'm not saying you're doing this, Baca, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name or not, but I'm not saying. I think they were just kind of putting it out there as a topic to discuss, which is cool. And now I forgot what I was saying, which is fine because I talk.
Yeah, it's really just for every.
Oh, don't put that on everybody. You know what I mean? That's the fear. Is some people go, we need regulation in tattooing. Yeah, we have some. We self-regulate a lot. We'll point out when a mother trucker's doing something wrong. We're quick about that, whether we do it right or not. We're a judging group of people in general, just people in general. Like,
yeah,
oh my God, he touched something without a glove. You know, it's like, good. Check people, because that's how we can help each other out to a degree. But when you start bringing politics into this, as far as like, oh, we need some what you're going to end up with is inks, these reach inks. You're going to end up with all kinds of dumb crap happening where stuff's getting banned, where now you got to go get a freaking science degree in skin technology. And so I just get a little scared when people want to start adding, certain things. So that's all.
Yeah, it's like I say, how far do you take it? How far do you take it? You've got to use reasonable, and to be fair, beyond, sometimes it's what you'd class as beyond reasonable cleaning, acceptable cleaning techniques, in this industry with the stuff that you clean down with, but you still got to draw a line at some point.
Yeah, that's it. And maybe not. Maybe we continue to go, we can do better. Maybe. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you're right. They're coming from a factory. They're probably not cleaning very well. So, it's up to you at that point. I've not had any issues, and I've been using the ink caps for a long time. Well, long time. And many people before us, and you're more apt that, like the situation Andy talked about, the ink, that's a lot of times what's going to cause it way quicker than something in your ink cap.
Look, I'm going to put myself out here, and I'm going to get slammed. I'm going to get slammed for this. And in years, I've never, ever, ever had a problem. Right. One, Dave. Right. One. Ink caps, straight out, straight user.
Yeah.
2. Right. Wait for comments. Wait for the comments on this. I do not use and have never used distilled water in my rinse cups. It is drinking tap water with Dettol in it.
How dare you, Andy? I'm recalling all your tattoos.
And I've never had a problem. Never had a problem.
See, look at that. I've used distilled water. Somebody asked me, and this is how bad it is, though, Andy. Why do you use distilled water? I honestly, I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. I don't know. I just always used distilled. I was told a long time ago, use distilled water, and it's because obviously they take a bunch of crap out of the water. It's But again, don't really know why. I just do. I'm sure you could use other versions that probably even more purified than those. But yeah, we're definitely recalling all those and shaming the heck out of you, Andy. You deserve to be stoned, really.
But if I'm making grey washes,
yeah,
I always thin the inks down with distilled water. So work that one out. Work out how ironic that is.
Oh shoot.
That. So just work out. I will make my grey washes with distilled water, but my rinse cup is drinking water, tap drinking water. You know, totally palatable.
Yeah.
You know, you can drink it. It's drinking water, and then, like I said, I put a little bit of Dettol in all my rinse cups. When it breaks ink down, and that's it. But like I said,
we're trying to kill you over here, Andy. You're obviously, this means you're a racist now.
Yeah,
that's the only thing we can come up with. As you've crossed a line. Now you're just a racist.
Yeah, that's it. I told you I'm getting it in comments, didn't I? Need to cancel him, behead him.
Yep. This is what happened. This is the level it goes to. All right, you've met the very end, right before death. You're labeled a racist. So,
it's just one of them things. Never done it. Never. Yeah, and I've never had a problem. I've never had. Yeah, and I think in all time I've done it, I've only had 2 people. I do say 3, but I think it's 2 people that have been had an allergic reaction to ink. One was to green, one was to purple.
Yes, yeah.
And that's it.
A big one. Green's a big one, and reds. Certain reds can also cause red. Pinks, even. You know, I think it's whatever they use in them, but it's very rare. I've seen it one time, and of course, my short time tattooing, 5 years. I've seen it one time. It wasn't even mine. It was somebody I was working with at the time. And they ended up having to go to the hospital. They had to get antibiotics. They had to do some stuff. But
done it. I'm gonna ban you.
They were recycling urine back then. You know what I mean? We can't waste this. We could clean a needle with that. Little acidicness in there. Later says though, in some countries you have to use sterile water instead of distilled water, right? So it is important, even though we laugh about it. If you really want to be careful, you can check what the laws are in your state or your country or your region or your whatever, or you can, just go use some well water.
That's it.
I would definitely not do that. I have well water, and I don't drink it. It's good for everything, just not the greatest for consumption. It might make you sick, unless you got like a whole home filter system. We have like a half a home filter system, so it doesn't do it perfectly. I'll have to buy bottled water. Stevie Green somehow has 2 blocks of weed stored here. Where you at, Stevie? I missed something in the chat. I looked over.
I'm going to say I think we've missed something in chat. I mean, Smoke saying he's got 10 ounces in the house.
Here we are talking about water. The chat is talking about a marijuana, and before long we'll be the old. We'll be never mind. We'll be going downhill so fast. Here we got Andy's using water as a race
every morning.
Ban us just for using keywords, I'm sure.
Yeah. Every morning, little Andy took his horse to the well and went to the well with his little wooden bucket. Only problem is, Danny, I did, but no matter how early I got up, you always were there on your horse and your little wooden bucket before me. That's what made me laugh.
Oh, you passed ways on the way there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. It's been a fun stream. Fun, do a little tattoo critiquing and a whole lot of BSing and.
Well, that's it. That's what I say. I think next week it's just straight up BS, BS banter. They've got between now next week. Any questions as well? Write them down because half of them will be stoned a bit, sound a bit, and won't remember what's going on. So
we'll revive you. We'll pour some.
So just write them down. There's 20 of you still watching, and if you haven't, just give the stream a like. Like the channel, subscribe to the channel, press the bell, notification bell. We'll be back here next week. We're over on Dave's on the 16th, where the critiques will be back on Dave's channel on the 16th, and back to the old format. Whereas, am I right here, Dave? Back to the old format. When you put the notification up that you're going live, then they can send them in. Yeah, we'll do it that way. And if we get a low turnout, great. We'll just banter for a while, which is the best part.
Also, Andy, for this next, no, actually, that's going to be after. So the 16th, obviously, will be live on the channel, and that's the next day I go in for surgery. So I might be down for a few days. I don't know if I'll be able to join you on the live stream. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. So it's some like sinus stuff they got to do. So I don't know if I'll be like unable to talk or talk well. But I'll keep you informed. It might only be a couple days and we'll be good to go. So I have no idea yet. They don't really tell me much.
Dave's boss is in chat. Alicia's in chat.
Good.
Should be making sure you're still alive, Dave, and you've not snuck off somewhere.
That's right. That's right. But I do got to jump off here soon anyhow because I do have to leave.
Yeah, what it is really. She's just checking that you haven't snuck off somewhere and had steak and lobster on your own and not invited Alicia along with you.
Yeah, so he better still be doing some sort of work over there. What's he doing?
That's it.
Okay, live streaming. All right, we'll call that close enough, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, well, yeah, good stream. I got some new inks today. Yeah, whatever. That'll be enough.
Have you
blabber on for too long?
What did you get?
I did some boring basics. I'll call them. Let's see what we got here, real quick. We got colors I've already had, but I'm running low on. They need a good shake up, but we got some intense. I don't know if you can even read that. It says Mystique. Right. It's a nice blue from Intense. We got I needed browns. I was running out of browns in those tones. I got hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate
was brown. We got this is a cocoa bean. This is a very dark brown, but it's nice to get a blend out from black into a real deep brown. This is like a cocoa bean brown. Let's see what else we got in the bag here. We got dark brown. So this is it needs shooken up, but it's a shade a little bit lighter than the cocoa. Good to have a dark brown. I got a nuclear green. I was running low on some of my limier greens.
Oh yeah.
We got in the back. Okay. We got what is this one? This is a bright orange. I got a lot of oranges, but I do like when you run out of certain tones of orange, you got to replace them. That's a bright orange. That's a good one by Eternal. Most of these are Eternal, except for just a couple. Next, we got a caramel.
Oh, I like caramel.
Yeah, caramel. It's a nice one too. Kind of in that brown family. Good to use and get some deep shades. It's called light green. It's it's not like a lime green. It's called the light green.
Is it light green?
It is, yeah, Intense light green. It's a must-have. It's a good one to have.
I go through bottles of that.
This is a good one. Yeah, you got to have this. This is like a mid green. Even they call it light green, it's like a mid green, and then you need a deep green, and then you pair that with like one of these brighter greens, and then you hit it with a little bit of yellow. Like that's if you want to go through the full scope of the greens.
You put them 4 colors out. You put the dark green, the light green, like a lime green, and a golden yellow. You can smash any leaves you want, any color leaves you want. You can get any tones, and a little bit of white.
I was looking. I have I can't remember what the green was. I was looking for it. They didn't have it, but I got this is a Roadrunner green. It's really like a real limey, a bit on the yellower side. Camera doesn't quite show it too well, but that's okay. Next, we got a burnt orange. I was running low on the burnt oranges. Good to do those ombres when you're coming from reds and stuff. And then I got a Longhorn Brown. Never tried this one. Figured we'd give it a go. It's in the brown family. And that was it. That place I get these. I try to order a lot of my inks, but sometimes you'll find that you not stay up on it. And then all of a sudden you're going to pour the colors. Like, oh, crap, that one's low. That one's low. Oh, crap. So when I'm in a pinch, there's a place about 45 minutes from here. I go out there. But they mainly have Eternal and Intense. I really have been enjoying Fusion ink. It's a bit thinner, but actually goes in real nice. But
I'm just
graffiti green. Yes, that's what I was looking for. That's what I went up to. That's the green I just ran out of. They didn't have it, so I supplemented for Nuclear and Roadrunner.
Yeah, I've just bought a load of Radiance and
Radiant. And then Crimson Red by Eternal is a great red.
Yeah.
I use that a lot.
But yeah, I've just bought a lot of Radiant inks and some raw inks. Just had to buy another bottle of which I got last week, Anchored.
I did, dude. I just ordered another bottle too. It's probably in that box over there. Just came I bought it from Amazon because I've put in an order in for my kid. And I was like, I wonder if Amazon has Anchored because I usually don't get it from them. Checked them. Oh, they do. It's from like a third party. So I think it ships directly from like manufacturer. But yeah, new bottle of that. It catches up to you. You know, they last a good while, but you get low. You don't want to be running out.
Yeah. So order some razors, another dynamic black, load of colours. Yeah, I need to put another order in for some more cartridges.
Start to cartridges coming out my behind, but
yeah. So
ordered more gloves. I did do more gloves. But yeah, I mean, you got to stay. Nothing runs out all at the same time. More dental bibs. I ordered a bunch more of those. Those did come in today. Yeah, it's like you just kind of have to keep tabs on things. No one's providing it for you. You got to keep up with it. The more you work, the more you burn through stuff.
Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah. End of tax year today.
It's what?
It's end of our tax year.
Oh, ours is coming up. I think it's the 13th, maybe April 13th, April 12th.
Got all taxes to do and accounts to do. Well,
yeah.
Wife has.
Send the money to the crooked government so they can send it off to dumb places and invest in dumb things.
That's why we ordered a load of gear and that before end of tax year.
Oh, I got you. Right off. Yes. Always keep the receipts if you can. Which I'll probably lose that, but take a photo of it.
Get rid of everything. Start a new tax year now, so it's like, what can I buy now? New machine.
I play the tax game as close to the T as possible, so I give them not even like I usually have to pay a little bit, a few $100 at the end of the year because I make sure they get just enough. I mean, less than they need, those dirty bastards, because they're ruthless. So at the end, I'm fine. Give them a little extra money, but that keeps me level. I don't want them holding on to any more of my money than they need throughout the year. The thought of them profiting off of my money makes me angry. So anyhow, I better. Yeah. But I guess I missed a phone call from somewhere. Interesting.
And then, like I said, so I might source another machine. Whether I get another torped or like we were talking before, just for shits and giggles, that one. I might order another torped anyway for myself, but just for shits and giggles, I've seen that other one. I might just, give it a whirl.
Give it a go, man. But I gotta leave Andy because I gotta.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna jump off anyway. What I'll say, like, we're jumping off now, guys. Anyway, so it's one of the things. If you want to keep up with what we're doing and everything, subscribe, ring notification bell. We'll be back on Dave's. We'll probably be back next week on mine. Bullshit and banter. And then not this Sunday, but the Sunday after we'll be on Dave's channel. So what we will say, we appreciate you all being here and we will see you in the next one. And everybody, take care.
Later, guys.
Later.